The way we see this is that we have the tools in our tool belt to fight this variant, to fight this vaccine, and we are not going to head towards a lockdown. We want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can because after passing the historic rescue plan, we have the resources to make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, despite what the White House says, worries are up over potential new lockdowns. Would that send the economy down? Back with us, former Trump senior advisor and co-founder of the Committee to Unleash Prosperity, Steve Moore, and Democratic strategist Kelly Hyman. Kelly, folks are really afraid with more restrictions, perhaps lockdowns. How significant would that be for the economy? What kind of hit would that mean?
Well, first off, if people are concerned, then they should get vaccinated. We haven't reached herd immunity, and that's what the issue is. We live in a great country. We have enough vaccines for everyone to get vaccinated. We are very blessed. But if we don't reach herd immunity, 70%, then we have some serious concerns, which is going to affect our economy. It's going to harm small businesses. It's going to harm the American people. And so that's why it's really important. We have the resources to do it. And so it's important for people to realize that. It sounds more like
punishment, though, Kelly, when you put it that way. It sounds like a punishment. If you don't get vaccinated, we'll shut down your community and you'll lose your job.
Absolutely, that's not true, and that's not a false narrative. But we need to go with the science, and the science have showed. We have to remember that 99% of the people that have died because of the new variants are unvaccinated people. My thoughts and prayers go to anyone affected by the vaccine and been harmed by it. But we have to go with the science, and that's what the science shows. And so that's really important. It's not a punishment because it's going to affect all of us. People that are vaccinated are not going to be able to do it, and it's going to harm businesses of people that are vaccinated. It's going to harm all of us. We're all in this together. It's not a punishment.
Steve, okay, I got you. Steve, so far, knock on wood, count our blessings, deaths and hospitalizations have not spiked the way cases have. So with that in mind, understanding the economic damage and the mental and even other types of damage that the lockdowns did have on our economy, what would how concerned are you that we may go back there?
I am concerned. And by the way, I agree almost entirely with what Kelly just said. It is so important for people to get vaccinated if they're adults. I'm not so sure children should be vaccinated, but certainly anyone over the age of 30 should be vaccinated. By the way, you're also right that this new variant, thank God, is not nearly as deadly as the previous variants of this. But look, I also think, by the way, it's people's choice about whether they get vaccinated or not. Once you're vaccinated, you don't have to worry about whether your neighbor is vaccinated or not. In terms of the economic impact, I mean, the thing that really frustrates me about this whole debate about whether we should go back to lockdowns and stay-at-home orders is, look, we should have learned the lesson of what happened over the last year and a half. The evidence is crystal clear that lockdowns had no positive effect whatsoever on health outcomes. One of the best, point estimates of that is just compare California and Florida. And Florida, did not lock down their economy. California was locked down the entire year, had much more unemployment, much more numbers of business failures, and yet actually age-adjusted, Florida had a lower death rate than California. So it really worries me that people seem to have learned the wrong lesson of what we've been through over the last year and a half. Lockdowns are ineffective. People should act responsibly, and I think we can get past this. I'm really worried, though, that there is a lot of chatter now about more business lockdowns, which would be catastrophic.
Yeah, and there's no doubt there's certainly chatter. I do want to switch gears real quick. Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar proposing a big new handout, in fact, a new guaranteed income bill, which would send $1,200 a month to most Americans. Kelly, how do you feel about that?
Look, people have been struggling personally, professionally, and financially, and my thoughts go to people that are struggling to put food on their table. But I think it's important for people to get back to work and to do that. And that's why I go back to what I said before of why it's so important for us to get vaccinated, because we're all in this together. And if we're not, then it's going to harm the economy, and we're going to be going backwards rather than forwards.
So you don't think it's a good idea? Steve, I interviewed a woman who owns a small business in Stockton, California. She hired a robot It's a fantastic story, but she said also that nobody wanted to work there. That's one of the towns that's been experimenting with universal basic income. I don't think there's any evidence it's ever worked anywhere. It doesn't make sense intuitively, and certainly it hasn't worked anywhere it's been tried so far. But maybe it could become a national plan. What do you think?
Well, it's interesting about this debate about the universal basic income. About a year or two ago, if you'd asked me about this, I was very undecided about whether, providing enough money to people to, have a certain living standard would make sense or not. But now we've had the evidence, Charles, and it really shows that giving people free money, whether it's unemployment benefits or sending out all these checks. And by the way, when you take all the free food, free health care, free rental assistance, all of this stuff, we're now paying some families as much as $75,000, $100,000 a year in free money for not working an hour. And it has had a very significant negative effect on work. It's had a very negative effect on our small businesses. You just mentioned it. It's really difficult for our small businessmen and women, the people who run restaurants and construction companies and mom and pop stores, to compete with their rich Uncle Sam that's in some cases providing $25 or $30 an hour for not working a single hour.
Kelly, less than a minute to go. Are you hearing anything about maybe trying to nudge that federal unemployment program even further now that we've seen this spike in the Delta variant in a lot of major cities?
I haven't, but as I said before, I think it's really important. We need to know that we're all in this together, and it's important for people to speak to their doctor about getting vaccinated, because I think that that's really going to help us, and it's for the better for all of us.
Charles, they just I think yesterday, the Biden administration said they want to extend the rental assistance, that you can't evict people if they're not paying their rent. That's a real hardship for people who own apartment buildings and so on. We're going to run out of affordable housing in this country because nobody's paying their rent.
Yeah. No, I mean, the White House would have done it if it hadn't been for a recent Supreme Court decision.
Exactly.
Steve, Kelly, thank you both very much. Fantastic conversation. Now, later this hour, Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace is here with her mask message for Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And get the jab or get a new job. More and more employers are now demanding that workers get the vaccine, whether they want to or not. But is it legal? Andy McCarthy is next.